Welcome back. Let's dive right into the deep end. The city of Seattle is celebrating the 5th anniversary of the Domestic Workers Ordinance, which established domestic worker rights July 1st of 2019. Seattle was the first city in the U.S. to enact a Domestic Workers Bill of Rights. Steve is on the plaza this morning with Steven Marchese, the Office of Labor Standards Director and Domestic Workers Standards Board's co-chairs, Baylie, Freeman, and Silvia Gonzalez. Steve, I'll throw it down to you.
All right. Yeah, we got lots of people out here today, and as we were just kind of noticing during the commercial break, it feels a lot cooler, so it's kind of nice to have you guys out here today.
Indeed.
So nice to have you with us as we sort of talk about the 5th anniversary of this. Steve, I want to talk, first with you is for people who aren't familiar, what does this ordinance do? What does it do for people?
Sure. Well, so the Domestic Workers Ordinance, which we're celebrating the 5th anniversary of, is created to support domestic workers, both independent contractors and employees, folks who provide services in the home. So people who are doing nanny care, cleaning homes, gardening work, these are the kinds of folks who are covered by the ordinance, and it provides specific kinds of protections. So a right to receive the minimum wage in Seattle, which is $19.97. Okay. It provides for meal and rest breaks. So if you're working 4 hours, you get to have a 10-minute break. If you're working 5 hours, you get a 30-minute meal break. It also provides for workers to keep their documents and have nothing taken from them by an employer. So it's an important series of protections, and we're the first jurisdiction in the country that has these protections.
Which is pretty significant.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, can you explain a little bit more about who qualifies?
Sure.
Who falls under that umbrella?
Yeah, so it's both employees and independent contractors, so people who work for services and people who might be engaged individually by owners.
Okay.
And this is for anyone who is hiring someone to work in their home. So, many of us have people who come and assist us at home for a variety of different reasons, cleaning, caring of our children, other sorts of things. Anyone who's doing that, whether you're hiring a service or you're doing it directly, you are covered as a hiring entity. And these rights are there for the workers who work in your home.
What do you think that we have learned since the implementation of this 5 years ago?
I think we've learned that it's very difficult for hiring entities to know what their obligations are. Okay. Everybody who is doing this doesn't necessarily see themselves in that role, that I have a worker who has the right to certain protections in my home. And when this was established 5 years ago, it was new as a concept for people to understand that the law provided this, that it was something that people had to provide.
Baylie, I want to bring you into the conversation too, and just sort of talk about the common types of complaints against domestic workers in Seattle. What do you say that those would be?
Yeah, so in terms of what we're seeing reported in terms of complaints, things like not being able to take meal breaks and rest breaks, not being compensated properly for those things. Also, wage theft is a real big problem. And, one of the things about the ordinance that I think is really important is that not only did it create these basic protections, but it also created this Labor Standards Board, which Silvia and I are the co-chairs of, and, we're very supported by the Office of Labor Standards to do the work there. And that is such a critical piece of this because domestic work is a very specific and unusual industry, and it's so important to have workers and other stakeholders at the table to talk through how to actually implement these laws and really make sure that they work for these workers. This is a really unusual labor standard. It's unlike any other labor standard that the Office of Labor Standards deals with. And so it's really, really critical to have workers at the table and making sure that they are comfortable going through that process in addition to being able to have a say in policy and be part of that implementation.
Sylvia, I want to bring go ahead.
Can I add a little bit? And another thing, maybe the most of domestic workers are immigrants, and sometimes they are afraid for report. This is why many domestic workers don't report abuse. But this is why we are empowering these women for report any kind of abuse.
What advice would you have, Sylvia, and Jennifer might help us out as well here too, is what advice would you have for a domestic worker, maybe despite this law being in place, if they do have concerns, what would you say to that worker that is dealing with some conditions that they don't think are ideal?
I speak in Spanish and maybe ellas o ellos se pueden comunicar a la Oficina de Normas Laborales, AOLS, para reportar cualquier abuso, pero en especial también ellas pueden unirse a otros grupos de trabajadoras para poder empoderarse ellas mismas y poder reportar.
So they can go ahead and reach out to the Office of Labor Standards. Our phone number is 206-256-5297, or they can visit the OLS website at seattle.gov Labor Standards. And also to make sure that they can join domestic workers groups around the area with other workers, so they can empower themselves and just like learn about how to, the tools that they need to actually, get their rights enforced.
Obviously, 5 years have passed. Where do you think we go from here?
Well, I think we are very fortunate that we are in a partnership with the board, with the labor standards, with the Domestic Workers Standards Board. Yeah. The Domestic Workers Standards Board presented recommendations to the City Council back in 2021. Some of the issues that they raised were the fact that many of the workers don't have access to paid time off. So if a worker gets sick, a worker wants to take a day off, wants to care for their child, they don't get compensated if they're not working. So one of the issues that we are studying as an office is how could some system be put in place in the city of Seattle to support workers, whether they are working for a service as an employee or whether they're doing it on their own, to get access to a paid time off. And there's a whole complicated system how that could work, but we're in the midst of studying that, and we'll probably be delivering some information on that later this year.
Obviously impacts a lot of people and certainly is an important discussion. So thank you all for being with us today. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Kelly, back to you. It's been 5 years, quite a long time.
Oh my goodness, it has indeed. Thank you so much, and thank you so much to all of them for coming all the way over to the station today to talk to us about it.